And Stock South here. I thought you'd like to see something. This is a thicket that basically has developed outside our front door at our little bungalow, in Port Murray, New Jersey. And this, a lot of people would say, Doc, why don't you cut that down a little so you can get into the house? Well, yes and no. First off, we do have pathways around the thicket. There's one on the other side too. And so if the left one don't get you, the right one will. And but in the middle, we have in this thicket all sorts of wonderful berry bushes. They're all over the place. Now, Sandy noticed this like the first year we moved in. She says, my God, she says, look, there's berry bushes everywhere and lots of berries on them. And I said, well, yeah, look at that, will you? I mean, look at that little tender morsel just staring at you. Uh-huh. And you say, well, Doc, why don't you pick it? Well, years back, I would have. And Sandy saw me doing that. She says, no, leave that alone. Leave it alone. I said, well, why? She says, because we've got birds around. And the birds will eat that berry. Okay, in fact, she says I even left a little branch for them. They can land on that, eat the berry. They'll fly up into the trees overhead, and they'll eat the berry and do what comes naturally, and next thing you know, we'll have a very well fertilized berry seed laden dropping land somewhere under the next tree, and we'll have more berries. And boy, did that ever work out. Look at this. Here's a berry bush that developed over the a number of years ago. But, okay, here, look, see, there's some more berries. There's some more. They're absolutely everywhere. And under this big old tree of ours. And the tree gives it a little bit of shade so the berries don't get too dehydrated. The birds see what's up and they plop on down and grab themselves a berry for themselves. And again, they fly off to other to other areas of the yard. And next thing you know, we got berries everywhere. Now this thicket, here I'll show you, there's that tree. Now I'm starting to walk around it. Oh, more berries right there. And more if you go in deep. Sandy has created like little, pathways that are known only to her to get to the very to the very tail end of the pickings. And of course, the birds, they seem happy with the one or two she leaves. They'll munch on them, and like I said, they'll fly off. And well, next year we got even more berries. Like, look at that one, boy. You know what? I'm kind of tempted for that one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Delicious. Okay. Ooh, one got me a thorn. Yeah. Oh. Okay. But as you see, they're all over the place now. This was pretty much the first development site, and it took a year or so for that to grow. Okay, and there's various varieties. So a little later on, the berry bushes that are, here, look at them all in there. Berry bushes, these are kind of the small early berries that don't have a whole lot of meat on their bones, but still they're very tasty. This was pretty much the first thicket. Then, if you go along our walkway that leads to the front door, well, you'd get a whole lot of thorns walking to our front door by what used to be the main path, but you'll also get lots and lots of berries. Sandy's been kind of picking through these. These were the ones Roxy and Millie both would walk in underneath the bushes and eat their fill, little stinkers. And you couldn't really get them to come out till they were done eating. They actually, I didn't think dogs liked berries that much, but they evidently do. Okay, so, oh gee, I kicked the bucket. And that bucket, yeah. And, but now look, here's another variety waiting to develop. Again, these probably started with one bush somewhere on the property. The birds ate them, went up into the trees, like you see, and bombs away. And we had seeds that were surrounded by fertilizer, shall we say. But look at these babies, all coming in. Oh, and they're going to, oh, look, there's one's actually busting through. See it? Yep, cool. Now, then there was this other thicket that I don't know if you can see it that well, but there's the lawn, and then a thicket that must measure 15 feet by about 30 feet. And again, it's full of what I think are wine berries, I think. Now, Sandy's got to get up real early to get these before the birds pounce. But she always leaves them a few. That way, we're insured of other plants coming perhaps a year later. Maybe 2 years later before you can pick them. Or, pick at them. But look at that. Bird bath in there. We ought to fill that with water and let the birds get a little swim. I don't know. But again, there's more into those shadows too. Now, if you go, well, here, I think that's another berry bush developing, I believe. Yeah. Okay, now you go past this little pond, and there's some berry bushes in there. But if I go down to the backyard, yeah, there's more. There's more here. Let's see. Ah, yes. Notice a limb. Underneath it, a berry bush. Again, that's a sure sign the birds have been planting. Okay. Now over here, looky, more. Now chipmunks might get this, but that's all right. Chipmunks kind of leave droppings too, and there'll be some seeds in there. We'll get some of the berries, but look at this baby, all the way down to a fairly thick stalk. And these come back year after year. Don't see many on these. These are late bloomers. These will be, but they'll be good. Okay. Well, that's one other spot. Now, I think also, I haven't gone down into that thicket that overlooks the river, but I got a hunch there's some in there too. I got a feeling. Okay. I'm going to have to go down and look one day. Maybe today. Now, I go out here. Of course, here's all the, tiger lilies. But, where? Here, let's see. Again, what you got to do is you got to look for a tree overhead. Okay, and then just look down and bingo. Here you go. By the way, I tried buying berry, baby twiglings, I guess it'd be what you'd call them. And they didn't do well. They died. But these seem to grow nicely. You gotta get the birds involved. And there's some more down there. They stretch down fairly far. Here's another one up close. Oh my gosh. Here's some more. Look at them all. Oh God, they're all over the place. And there was like none here a year or so ago. In fact, I thought, gee, that's why I planted the raspberry bushes. See what I mean? They're, again, just everywhere. Just absolutely gorgeous. More than there. Sandy didn't even know these had developed. I noticed them the other day and just pointed them out to her. Plus, there's some down in all that shade. There's quite a few down there now. We're starting to, we're going to have like an acre of berries here for too long. Now, let me see what else. I think we've got pretty much everything in this shade. But here's an area, big old pile of rocks. I throw the leaves from the fall in there, and soil is developing. And if you'll take notice, I think that's a berry plant. Hasn't developed anything yet, but there you are. And that new one. But look, see, they are coming around and developing nicely. Soon, this pile of rocks will be nothing but berries. So cool. Kind of neat how they've been developing over the years. It's taken about 10 years, but doggone, not bad at all. Anyway, and that brings me back to the thicket, the shady thicket under the big tree, and what I think would be a very good a very good Lord's Prayer moment. There you go. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Yeah, boy, it's kind of deep in there, huh? Some of the birds will sneak in there and snag them. But ain't that something, huh? Anyway, friends, I thought you'd get a charge out of seeing how berries do have a way, like anything else, of multiplying. We'll see you later. Bye now.